Hi everyone, I'm really grateful to have Serena here, who has been a part of Into Soul Wisdom. And we're just going to chat for a bit of time about her experience at Into Soul Wisdom. Welcome, Serena. Thank you for being here with me.
Hi, thank you.
So, would you like to share just what inspired you to join Into Soul Wisdom?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Um, so I actually found Aniza, found you through your YouTube videos, and um, I watched your YouTube videos for probably about a month or so before I found out that you had your own courses, and I was just very drawn to the way that you shared, and I just felt so much. Um, so I felt like you delivered concepts that I've heard in a way that I hadn't heard before, and I felt that it was very heart centered and empowering. And so when I came across Into Soul Wisdom and I read through it and everything that, like the 3 month process and everything that it entails, I felt most drawn to it because it seemed like you weren't offering something that I didn't already have,
Mm,
and it that meant a lot to me because one of my biggest things behind my intention was that I wasn't going into it feeling like I was lacking something or feeling like I was needing to fill some sort of void or hole, and I was really drawn to your message, and yeah, I felt that it was a way to explore myself in deeper layers of what I normally interact with day to day, and even what I was interacting with in meditation at the time, but I didn't really know that yet. Um, and yeah, so that's why I felt very pulled for it. And I will say that it was something that was intimidating. Like I felt like it was going to be completely out of my comfort zone to join like a group of um, strangers and dive into work like this. But the community aspect of it, having other people to reflect to you and other women to have these experiences of such deep and personal and intimate layers. That was like the biggest one of the things that I enjoyed the most actually was having the community, the other people to interact with, and yeah, so that's why I really decided to take the leap, and it was just a matter of like, well, what if I don't do this, and I just wonder like what it could have been. So that's why I ultimately chose like to reach out to you and go through with joining.
Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate. Sorry, there's noise on my side. Everything you shared, I really love that you said you entered because you did. I wasn't saying anything you didn't already have. Like it wasn't about feeling lack. It was really an exploration of deeper layers.
Mhm.
Like that's quintessential. Like what I'm hoping to share, and I guess I just want to reflect on that because I think it's a bit different than maybe other healing or transformational marketing and self development. It's more like, oh, there's something wrong, and this is going to support like your fixing of it. But I really don't approach things from that way because I don't think there's anything wrong. I just feel like we have the capacity to know our wholeness from a deeper place. And I think it's a bit, it's just, I feel like it's different. And so I'm really grateful that actually is what one of the things that attracted you
Mhm.
because I do feel maybe not everyone's in that mind frame. And well, and it makes sense like that since you are like you got it like there's a resonance. So I just thank you so much for that, for sharing that and like having that resonance. That means a lot to me because that really is my such a strong intention of mine. And I feel emotional just because, yeah, I'm so glad that that comes through and comes across.
Yeah, yeah. And it really felt like I could just bring my whole self into it. Like I didn't have to edit or kind of think about, okay, well, what am I bringing into this program? Like it really was just like, bring yourself, let's explore, and yeah, it that's.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So how was your experience in Into Soul Wisdom? Was it for you?
I feel like I'm still experiencing into soul wisdom. Yeah, it. I think the first month was immediately, even like our first meeting, where it was like just 40 minutes of silence. It was like that immediately. It was just like something began like shifting because um, so our process of meditation, like in the first month, what I really got out of that was um, again, like not editing, like when I felt like we really embraced like anything that came up, any sort of thought, any sort of emotion, any sort of sensation. It was just like, let it be, allow it, welcome it if you want to, and if not, just like let it come up and let it um, do its thing. And that's what I really that was something really profound for me, because I found that when I don't engage with like the thought or the sensation or the emotion, it does its own thing, like it shifts on its own, and it may turn into something else, or it may like disperse entirely. And so yeah, I and I found myself like getting into a rhythm with it, and I there was times where I felt like, okay, I gotta like meditate like 2 times for like 40 minutes today. But I found like it started to turn into like its own natural rhythm with me. So it was like I was feeling like my own pattern of when is the best time to just sit. And um yeah, it was like a full month of that, which I absolutely loved. I loved it. And um then it was like when we started the energetic practices, oh my gosh, like that's something that I had never experienced before. And just having your guidance, it it made things in me like just open wide up, and I really found so much just confidence in myself through telling my story and learning my story from just listening, really deep listening to my body. And you know, I think when we started, like I couldn't even sense like where my chest was when I was feeling into my body. And now like I'm at a place where, you know, I'm like sitting in my chair and I can feel the little fibers on my elbow, and it just feels like I'm so much more like embodied in my experience in my present moment. And that really began with Into Soul Wisdom and diving um in that way. And yeah, like I said, the community aspect, having the other women that were going through the same thing, it was so uh, it was so magical, hearing everyone, you know, find themselves and find their stories and share their stories, and getting to reflect back to them what we were experiencing in these like energetic realms, and having that resonate with them and having that resonate with me and bringing up more. It felt like such a fractal experience. And that's why I say that I feel like I'm still into soul wisdom, because it it continuously it yeah, it continuously just brings through um like deeper layers of itself and deeper layers of things that I discover. And you know, I always have those tools with me, so I can always explore in any way that I choose with the ways that we've learned through Into Soul Wisdom. And yeah, I hope that somewhat grasps my experience of it, because um, it felt like just such like an explosion of what life and reality and like what it can be and how many layers there are and in every direction. And yeah, I hope that that grasps it.
Mm. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because I really feel, I mean, into soul wisdom, or literally not just the name of this course, but if we were to go into our soul's wisdom, that's not just something we do, it's something we are, and it never leaves us, and as long as we put our awareness to it, it will continue to inform and completely transform our lives.
Mhm.
And so I really love how you express that. And I can feel emotional. And like, I have like, because my intention with this was like, could I reflect my life experience and share it with others, like my journey into soul wisdom.
Mhm.
And so when I hear your words, it just means so much to me. It's like so meaningful to me, because there is really so much magic and beauty from the awareness of our own being and soul. And it's like, I might be the facilitator to that, but your personal experience will always be yours. And it's just so beautiful. Like, oh man, I'm like, so yeah, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm like floored and just really grateful. And I really appreciate how you said, like, in this moment, I can feel the fibers of my elbow, and this sort of being in more expansive awareness. Like, that's also, this means so much to me, because I feel, I mean, they say, I don't even know how much they say of our brain we occupy, but like, imagine, like, we also occupy so little of our like being usually in our body. And so to be speaking in this moment, and then to be aware of like that stream of words are coming, but then also aware of the greater expanse of my body and the greater expanse of the room, and like being able to have this more expansive perception as I'm speaking. It's like so great. And it's really beautiful to excuse me, share that with others, and like have that come to life for them as well. Like, it just means so much to me. Yeah.
Yes, and I that's why I appreciate and love just the your process, because it's like you really do honor and respect each person that you're encountering as like a full being, and you're not trying to impose anything on us in the course or yeah in the space. And it always felt like a an open invitation, and we were open to go down that avenue in through any avenue. So any way that we chose felt the best to us. We were all like going to the same place, but it felt like we were going in our own ways, and you really encouraged that and respected that. And that's why I so deeply appreciate this. And I feel like so grateful to have um, a space like this, because I feel like it is rare, especially in the healing community, which is kind of ironic, but it it feels like yeah, it felt like an invitation to really just be your fullest self. And um, I really appreciate that from you.
Thank you. You're a joy gift. You're a joy gift to me. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with anyone who's like interested about participating in this, but maybe feel any hesitancy or uncertainty? Is there anything else you feel to share with people who are called to into soul wisdom?
Yeah, I think that if someone is feeling called to this, then you're feeling called to this. And like our every like all of our thoughts are they come up, and everything that we've been conditioned with anything, with like our parents, with like bullies, with our siblings, like those things just come up. And you doubt yourself, and you doubt, what if this, and what if they don't like me, or what if I'm weird. And I think like really just trusting that call. And the thing with like soul wisdom, I feel like it's a lot of the times it really is like intangible, and I feel like you get like a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here, but you're never really getting like a full like story or a full explanation. You're just kind of you're it's like a process of like going and trusting and going this step and trusting and going this step and trusting. And like this course is literally called Into Soul Wisdom, so it's like taking the step and trusting, and then taking the step and trusting. And even just like setting up the call with you, like the initial call with you, like that can be like nerve wracking in its own, but it's just like taking that step and then just letting it go, like let the thoughts go and be present where you are, and like wait for the day that it comes, and then just like jump into it. And yeah, it's truly unexplainable, especially when you get in with like with Aniza and with the other people that also feel called. It's so magical when you're in a place like that, and everyone wants to be there. Everyone's willing to at least show up, like at least show up, because once you show up, it's like bam, like your soul's already doing the work that you're not even aware of. So yeah, I really would just encourage anyone that feels called to really just trust that call. And, like life is short. Life is short, and you only get some chances to do things once. But the beautiful thing about the internet is that the internet's forever. And as long as you're willing to do this, Nisa, then people will have that opportunity. But I would encourage anyone to do it when they feel called, because I feel like I added like 50 years onto my life with this with this course. I just feel like I was already feeling like time was so strange, and a day could feel like, or a week could feel like a month. But I really feel like just, yeah, this ever present now is so potent, and it's um it's affected like so many layers of my life, not even just like really deep ones, but even just like my everyday, like being more present. It 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 forces, but it's not like a force that I'm like resisting. It allows me to show up more fully, for myself, for my partner, for my family. And it allows me to, when I yeah, when I'm not so involved with like the story of my mind, can um I can show up more fully as myself. And through that, that changes everything when I'm making like these different choices, and I'm just feel like I'm like playing and experimenting with my life. And then, the universe like shouts back at me through these like serendipitous experiences. And it's just, yeah, I all that to say, I would just encourage anybody who feels called to follow that call.
Ah, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I so deeply appreciate everything you just shared. And I feel like I feel a lot of magic in this interaction. So I hope people can just receive the resonance that we're sharing, whether or not you follow through with Into Soul Wisdom, like you are into soul wisdom, like being with yourself and your soul. So follow the call of that, whichever direction it allows you, and in whichever direction it pulls you, because it really is so worth it. It makes life, like, I love how you said that. I feel like I had 50 years of my life. It just makes life so interesting and like fascinating and dynamic and vibrant. Like life is this juicy, like ripe fruit that's like ever ripening. And to engage in life in this way, it feels like a gift, because unfortunately we're living in a time where that has been dulled, to such a deep degree. So like just bringing ourselves back to the ripeness of life. So thank you so much for listening. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much, Serena. I love you so much. I so appreciate you. I feel like so gifted for like having found each other and interacting in this way, really and truly.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay. Blessings and bye, everyone. So much love.